Never to be seen again. Bermuda
1208,
Triangle.
1209. So I'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to connect. So our marketing consultant will be virtual. That's why I'm.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll do roll call, and then after that, approval of minutes, but I'll sit there, see, because Hector said he has to leave early.
There's enough.
Okay, good. Don't have to worry about that.
Roberto Santos,
Here, present.
Hector Cortez,
Present.
Carlos Gordillo,
Present.
David Cash, Paul Benavides, not present, Joshua Soto,
Here.
Jose Gonzalez,
President.
Elia Guevara.
Present.
We have a quorum.
All right, minutes are in front of us, we had a chance to review it. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve minutes as presented.
Okay.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
No opposition? Moving forward, minutes approved. Okay, citizens' comments, is there any citizens' comments?
No.
No. Moving right along, like this is a fast meeting. All right, staff reports.
Staff reports, okay.
Welcome, man, I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know, right? Is it, I don't know if you want a motion to do the marketing report so we can have the gentlemen out there be underway, because they charge by the hour, so.
Let's make a motion. Staff, the marketing report.
Marketing report.
All in favor, or who might?
Yeah, motion to.
Okay, second? Second. Okay, we all agree to move forward and so
Hold
on.
on, I just need to connect by the phone, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know why this thing is here. I want to see if you can help me remove this little box.
Just click the show details, see what it does.
It doesn't let me check
Oh,
it.
gotcha.
So it has to go with the remote, and I cannot tell which remote it is.
It's the Sony remote. Let me talk about the font. It's the Sony one, the Sony remote. I got it.
4141.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please consult your direct. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please consult your directory.
I don't know what's happening.
You trying to call them?
Hang on. I can't.
Battery's no good. That's all blood pressure.
Is there a button on the side?
There.
On the TV?
Welcome to WebEx. Enter your access code or meeting number followed by pound.
Andrew, can you read it to me? 248, right there. I can't see it.
It's gonna be this one.
248?
No, that's
133.
No, I need the access code. 248?
248.
248?
Your entry 248 is not valid or the meeting has not started.
The access code, I think it's, you have to move that thing.
133?
Yeah, 133.
There's 4 threes, 1, 2, 6.
Your entry 224. Thanks for using WebEx. Visit our website at
I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know what's
That's
happening.
okay.
Okay.
Welcome to WebEx. Enter your access code.
Is the access code,
248.
you need to move that
Hold on.
black thing, and you will see the access code.
Your entry 24813333312 is not valid or the meeting has not started yet.
One.
Re-enter your access code
Okay, can
or
you please
meeting
read it to
number
me?
followed by pound.
248.
1333126.
Enter your attendee ID number followed by pound. If you do not know your
There. We're good. Can you hear us?
you'll now be connected to the meeting.
Yeah, I can hear us.
Yeah.
Can you hear us?
No, their
It says
mic is
unmute on the bottom.
Unmute bottom left.
There you go.
See? Yes, we can hear. Okay.
Okay. All right, thank you, Aaron. I don't know, can you go through the report of the marketing so we can continue with your life down there in Monterey? We need a nice steak or something and leave us here by ourselves, please.
He's here.
Okay, you want us to show the report you have on your table?
Yeah, we should have it
Here.
here.
We are
Yeah.
here to listen, guys. What do you need to know? Do you have any questions? Do you want to see
Yeah,
something?
you just want to go real quick over the report that we have here.
Mm-hmm. Wait, give me a moment.
I changed the battery to the take it.
And, we're seeing the month of February, all the users and all that, so you can.
This one?
The
Can you
second,
see it?
it's loading.
Can you see it?
Nope.
No.
There it is. Now we can.
Okay, what is this report showing every month? Actually, the report shows the actions we do for the airport in general actions, the website, the social media, and if we have any other marketing or actions, efforts outside the website and the social media. Mostly, that is what we're showing here. We show here the website performance, the social media performance, and that's what is shown here. Basically, and it's important to know, everything happening on digital actions for the airport is organic. There are no investments on this. Everything is organic. We try to reach and to get closer to the community with quality community. So this is what the first slide number 2, we show the actions going for the website maintenance, which is update data, traffic statistics, maintenance website plugins of the website, because actually the structure of the site is made of different widgets with different suppliers, and we have to be checking on that programming stuff. Pop-up banners we upload pop-up banners for the maintenance terminal renovations. We included also the Aerus link to the website. We connect the Instagram to the website to connect the flow between the social media to the website also. So people on the website can see what is happening on the social media actions, on the social media channels of the airport. And actions social media, we every month create content, social media content, which could be reels, video, graphics, links to share information. So what we do is we created 16 contents. One of them a reel, and we evaluate the audience on social media. We evaluate the performance of the people following us. We also answer messages on LinkedIn and Facebook and Instagram for the audience to keep an active conversation with the community. And like in a fast overview, we can say we have on Facebook, in the month of February, on Facebook, 50 new followers, on Instagram, 29, on LinkedIn, 28 followers, a total of 72 new followers in general in our social media channels. Why we choose or why we work with Instagram and LinkedIn? Because LinkedIn targets the B2B audience. Instagram and Facebook actually are more local audiences, more final customer airport users of the airport. So the communication there has to be more like person to person. So that's why we have these three social media. You may ask, what about X? X is a social media that we couldn't get back. There is an email that is being like obsolete or something. We haven't been able to get the airport account back. So that's why we use only these three: Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Other action made for the airport: we do the creative to promote the Laredo airport destinations for a campaign that starts running, this March, not May, it's March. And we create also promotions on the trade numbers edition for Port Laredo. There is a page for the airport also, an advertisement for the airport. These are the actions made in the month of February. And we page, and this is format on the website. So what can we see here is talking about everything being organic. We have almost 4,000 new users last month with a total time of interaction of 48 seconds. This means average time of 50 seconds. So we probably could say we're almost under average time of people visiting a website. And what is important here to notice or to know is in my screen, it's not on your presentation, but it's on my screen. You can see in highlight in yellow, people go into the website by organic search with 4,400 sessions active. Out of those 4,300, almost 309,000 are new users of the website. And also, if we see at the bottom in the other chart, we say here, páginas, pantallas que obtienen más visualizaciones. I highlight the airline Fly Laredo line, which is 925. Why I highlight this one? Because this is actually more travel intention, because people is clicking to the airline's information. Because if we consider flight info or the home, we have we cannot tell this interest, because flight information could be for arrivals or for departures. But when people is looking for airlines, is when they click and go out of the website, going to the airlines of their interest. So this is what is happening here. Where are our major community or major users or who has the most interest in the airport? People from Dallas, local people from Laredo, people from Austin are the top three destinations. So if we see users of the website are mostly Texans. So the state community or local communities, actually, most of the people. And we also included this dashboard here showing through which screen or device people is going inside to the website. And we can tell like 63% or 64% of the people going into the website is doing it on a mobile device. 55% is doing on a computer device, a desktop computer. But this helps us on the website maintenance to keep, the tracking on functions on the mobile version of the website. So keep the information upgraded, accurate, and proper distributed, so people can have an easy access and navigation on their cell phone. So then if we go to the next. We also, in last February, included, as request of the Laredo International Airport team, the Instagram account. So if you check on your website, on your cell phone, on flylaredotexas.com, if you scroll down, you will see the social media content of Instagram at the bottom of the website. And if you continue doing a scroll down on the first page, you will have direct access to the Aerus, Allegiant, American, and United Airlines that fly from Laredo and to Laredo. So this is help us to, as I said, to engage with people who is going straight to the website, but they don't know the social media, so they can see what is happening, what is the conversation happening around the airport on the social media channels. That's why we include this. This is new, and it's starting on February. And the performance of the social media. Why is organic on Meta, or why we are not investing on Meta or Instagram or to our site? Basically, what we need to have is a good quality community, good conversation, good interactions, fluid conversations. That's why we have these actions for frequency. Although that the airport goal is to keep to incentive locals or travelers to travel through the airport, but the airport doesn't sell any airplane ticket. So that's why we are going organically right now on social media, trying to improve the quality of the conversation. It doesn't matter too much the size right now, the size of the community, but the quality of the community itself. So currently we have 4,000, almost 5,000 followers on Facebook, which most of them are local. 74% of these people is local. And we have increased a lot the number of clicks on the links we put on social media, on Facebook. We provide in the content on the social media pages, we provide regarding to the airport performance, traveler tips, industry, aerospace industry news or comments, trying to connect with different, with the audience in the airport. So that helps us to have a good engagement of clicks, good interactions with the community, and also we have good visualization of the, what happened? Do I took it off? Hold on. Okay, here. And so you see, this performance helps us to see how people is interacting, how the people is talking to the airport. And it's actually, Facebook is actually the most important of all social media, because this is mostly local. And if we go and check on Instagram, we have grown our community also on Instagram at 1,500 followers. The quality of the conversation is good. We have an extra 211 visits during the month of February. We have 29 more followers. We have a reach of 1,800 accounts. We have 5,500 visualization of the content, and we have 303 interact our content, which these are good numbers actually. And also, again, most of our audience is local from Laredo, Texas. So. And we finally go to someone which is to our social media, which is important, which is LinkedIn. This is for B2B users. And on this screen, we show you who is your audience talking about B2B businesses. And we can say it's logistics, transportation, aerospace, public administration, real estate, advisories and consulting companies. International commerce is the profile of our, the industry of our followers, and where they are located. Most of them are in the Greater Laredo area, San Antonio area, Monterey area, the geographical influence locations of the airport, which is the positions or the workforce of these people. Most of them are in operation and utilities, business, entrepreneuring, sales, finance are the top 4 occupations of the followers we have on LinkedIn. So this is important because here our community is growing little by little, 538 followers now. Last month of February, we got 28 new, which helped us to have more than 2,000 impressions. So these are the top 3 communities, and as I said, we use Facebook and Instagram for B2C, and LinkedIn is actually more for B2B, for businesses, for trade. This is an example of what the social media content is being generated. As I said, we show pictures or images of flights or aircraft using the airport, and other actions in English and in Spanish, other actions like the dual customs with the Mexican airport destinations may be useful for logistic industry, reels, like these events of the air show happening at the airport. And we have like this sample of the conversation about this reel, so you can read here, as I said. It was an awesome day. Thankfully pushing on past the situation. Truly gratefully for the pilot safely. We have very positive comments about the content being created for social media. So this is just an example of one of them. And this is the last campaign we launched locally on Laredo, promoting the flying destinations from the airport to Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, Monterrey, and Las Vegas. Los Angeles, unfortunately, is not happening anymore, but we have all of them updated and running in the city around Laredo, Texas area. This is what the last campaign launches started this March. And I want to show you something here that is not on your presentation, but these are examples of the actions, of the advertising actions that is doing Aerus Airlines to promote the flight Monterrey-Laredo in Monterrey, Mexico. So if you can see, they do a big effort promoting the flight. I don't know the performance of them, but yeah, they do have to promote the sales because it's their flight, and they promote with video, with posts, with stories. So these are some of the examples they do actually. So this is the report. This is what the report is showing, the performance, the actions we do. And this is another extra screen I include on the presentation, which shows this content. This video here is going to be shown on the March, the end of March or beginning April, I guess, which shows the total number of users of the airport. So if you see, this is also visual, so we encourage users to travel more, because if we can see year to year, the total users leaving from the airport to any destination is growing, constantly growing, which is a way to improve potential travelers, based on the numbers of the airport. So yes, this is what the report shows, performance and actions done by us for the airport. So do you have any question on this?
I have a ton, but I'm gonna let everybody else go.
I'd say go ahead.
Okay, so thanks for the report. Really quickly, can we go to the, I guess, slide 3? 4 million people accessed the website in February, or it had 4 million or 4,000? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it, okay. So 4,000 people accessed the website?
No. Hold on. I don't know what is happening here. I don't know what I did.
I think it's.
No, on the website, 4,000.
Sí, 4,000. 4,000.
Mhm. You have almost 4,000.
Okay,
4,100.
It's in Spanish.
4,100.
that's fine, sí, no, es por eso, 4,000.
Well, this whole thing should be in English, first of all.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I can translate, but so of the 4,000 people, only they spent only 48 seconds on the website on average.
On average, yes. Every user stay on the website 48 seconds. Yes.
Okay. Does your scope include SEO?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys are in charge of SEO on the website. Okay. Well,
That's part of the job.
Name it, what's SEO?
SEO is basically search engine optimization, which allows the website to be found or indexed through web crawlers like Google, Yahoo, MSN, Bing, those sorts of things. Can you tell me, after doing a scan of the website, can you tell me about the metadata that you've infused into the website?
Sorry, brother, sorry?
The metadata. Because you're in charge of SEO, correct?
Uh-huh.
Yes, the metadata that you put into the website.
Oh, okay. I need to check that on my programmer.
Okay, yes.
but I can get you this information,
Be-
yes. I need to talk to him and give it back to you, yes.
Yeah, because we have to understand what
Mostly we use the Fly Laredo, the keywords Fly Laredo, Laredo, Texas Airport, LRG, KLRG, and all video and images are tagged with the Laredo International Airport.
Okay, but
If
those
there
are,
are more, I can ask for the programmer.
no, I get it. The keywords are one thing, but what is the title tag that you've infused into the website? And what is the title description? Because that's all important.
Oh, okay. I need to ask that for a programmer and I can give it back to you, yes.
Right, because that's a critical piece to the website, because currently
Yeah,
looking at,
no.
and if you give me a second, currently, if you do a scan on the website, and this is public information, everybody can do it, you can scan any website
Yeah.
and it'll give you this. But if you scan the website, it'll tell you what errors the website has. And the website currently has various errors. And it would probably take this entire meeting to pinpoint every single error that's on the website. But SEO is not being performed to its maximum. And so if you're tasked with SEO, give me a second. If you're tasked with doing SEO, then I would say that you need to start looking at that. You need to look at not only the keywords, but the title, the description, and then your schema markup. Your schema markup is not there either. So if you're trying to do local SEO, your schema markup is missing there as well. Are you in charge of doing blogs on the website?
There is no blogs on the website actually right now.
But are you-
Yes,
is
but
that
we are
it-
in charge of
ex-
that, but probably we don't have.
Okay, if your scope is to include, it includes doing blog posts, then I would anticipate that we're gonna see, how long have you had this account?
Fly Laredo?
Since last year.
Yeah, well, they inherited about 6 months ago, I would
Okay,
think. Or
I would,
yes.
how many blog posts are they tasked with? Do you know? When their scope?
I don't know on top of my.
Okay,
head.
I would say at least one per month, because you're billing on a monthly basis, correct?
Hold on. I don't think we have blog posts in our contract with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what,
Well, he just said that it was in.
Blog, actually, we can include the blog for you, but we don't create the content to fill the blog. We can put the space for the blog, but you fill the content because it's your information.
we would be the ones that would write the blog. Like, he's not writing blog posts.
I can
Okay.
give you the space.
And a blog,
the widget
can be a press release, it can be anything,
Yeah.
any kind of content.
Yeah.
All of that,
All of the information, we feed them with the information.
okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
because you are the owners of your information, yes.
Is there any reason why Fly Laredo is what's the website when you open it up?
FlyLaredoTexas.com.
Yes, why is Fly Laredo going to Fly Laredo, Texas? Do we not own the domain? FlyLaredo.com?
It's all been federated.
No, there's two domains. It's FlyLaredo.com and then FlyLaredoTexas.com.
I don't know,
That's-
you need to check on IT on the city because maybe they should own, since we got the working with the airport, it's being Fly Laredo, Texas from the very beginning, yes. So maybe the city owns the other domain.
Yeah, because that's a big difference. FlyLaredo.com and then FlyLaredoTexas.com is a completely different address. So I'm just wondering why we don't have FlyLaredo.com and why we're masking the address.
Well, I mean, even before my time, there was some issues with all the accounts. There's even I think a Facebook account that we haven't been able to recover, and well, also X, as he mentioned it. So it's been challenging because of the things that were done before, and people living with the passcodes and
Yeah.
all the keys and everything, and not sharing or forgetting or not picking up our calls anymore.
Yeah. The importance to this is just that that's your digital property, right? If you look at, if you look at your front-facing window, before anybody even comes to the airport, they go to your website, right? And so, like, that's needs to be under control, because if you don't have control of that, then you're going to lose a ton of, business, right? And visitors, and all of this is super important when somebody's searching for an airport in Laredo. I'm gonna travel, I go to Google, right? How do you just think of your behavior, right? And so, all of that's gonna be super critical, so I would task you guys, because again, I can keep talking and asking questions, but the only other thing aside from the website is the SSL certificate, which is your security and your encryption on the website. There's some vulnerabilities there. I would imagine that's part of your scope, correct?
Yes, correct. But actually, the security, the certificate is updated.
It is, but there's some pages on there.
We constantly check it.
There's some pages on the website that are still, they lack
Not covered?
they lack coverage. So I would just have you scan the website and check it out. And then the
Sure.
only other
Go
question,
around, yeah.
the only other question that I have on the advertising piece is, you mentioned we're not running campaigns on digital, but we're running campaigns on billboards, and I can see that, but I did see some campaigns in the newspaper. Do they run those for us too, or is that's done in-house?
Yes.
Okay, but if they run digital campaigns like on Facebook and Meta, they run them.
Yes.
Okay, why can we not do that?
Do what?
Why can we not run digital?
Like boost a post?
Why can't we run boosts, or why can't we run targeted campaigns on Meta Business?
Yes, we can. We just haven't done it.
So we would just need to direct them to run them?
We just need to pay.
Okay. Okay, very good. That's the only question that I had.
May I add something?
Yeah.
I think you talked about redirecting from the traffic. I think the airport or a city should also acquire Laredo International Airport.com, Laredo Airport, Aeropuerto de Laredo, and then from those, you would redirect to
Correct.
Fly Laredo.
Well, I tried to do a search, you said the search optimization, so I type different terms, like if I'm somebody that's gonna search flight for information about the airport, you press Laredo, airport, fly, and the first thing we land is on the website of the airport, right? So the issue is the domain?
Well, there's two domains. You have, I guess when you type in Fly Laredo, right, and
It takes you to the website.
it does take you to the website, but if you look at the address,
Yes.
it's redirected to
FlyLaredo.Texas.
FlyLaredoTexas.com.
Okay, it's supposed to be flylaredo.com,
Right?
okay.
Which, in theory, like he mentioned, I mean, we can do that. I was just wondering
Yes.
why we have two different addresses and why
Okay.
we don't have one.
It would be just for protection, so no one else uses it.
Correct. You can redirect, you can buy as many domains as you want. It's $12 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
That way nobody can use it.
Yeah, but, yeah, the big thing I think here is the metadata. That needs to be done, the keywords, and then the posting on the site. It needs to remain active, because that's how the website is indexed through Google. And right now, while we're searching here on our phones, because we're pinging here in Laredo,
Yes,
when you're
exactly.
pinging in Houston, or you're pinging in a different market, it's not always the same thing. And that's where the local SEO comes into play. And so that would just be my recommendation. Do you all manage the Google My Business profile?
The Google My Business profile, no.
Okay,
We don't have access to the Google My Business yet, no.
okay.
That's something we can.
Yeah, Google, I would just, does that fall within your scope?
Could be, yes. It's in the scope, yes.
Yeah, because that's also, you can treat that almost very similar to social media. It's got buttons, bookings, Google Maps. That, yeah, I would just
Yes.
revisit.
I agree with you on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
okay,
Thank you.
Sorry, guys.
That's very
Thanks for
good, very
indulging me
good comment.
a little bit.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for the
you.
report.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Anything right here to help. Okay? We have Scott here.
Bye. Okay, so
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right? Bye-bye.
we need a motion to go back to passenger activity, or I just go?
Let's just go.
All right. Passenger report. Well, as you can see, I don't know when was the last time we met, but last year on employment numbers, we
Waiting for
reached 150,000 passengers, which is a milestone for Laredo. Okay, I'm not gonna get tired of saying this is the best year we had so far, and because I've been saying it for the past 3-4 years, so hopefully we continue that way. This year we started strong too. A little bit lower on February, but not by much compared to last year. But I am very cautious right now because of the economy, how it is, right? So I think it's there are some challenging time coming ahead of us. So what is the first thing that people sacrifices? Travel. So hopefully we can reach those numbers again, but I am very, very cautious on forecasting this year into the 150,000 passengers again. So we might go back to 130, 100 and within that range so far. Moving on the cargo report.
Gilberto, just getting
Yes.
back, how do you think that all these flights that from the migrants that are stopping now are gonna impact on the numbers?
Well, we had the numbers I had for migrants were about 8,000 to 9,000 on a yearly basis. So, I mean, if you take out those 9,000, you're looking at 141,000
So
passengers.
that's gonna be the
Yeah.
difference?
Yes,
Okay.
which is still a big increase
Yes.
compared to previous years.
Taking all these factors into consideration, do you think that they're gonna cut back on the number of planes coming to Laredo, or do you think they'll make it?
There's a possibility of that. Obviously, it's a financial decision at the end. So, and I will get to, I got some slides if we have time to show you the load factors. So at the end, if the load factors are not there, they're probably gonna cut us a few frequencies because we are, if not one of the very few airports that have increased capacity on American and United in the region. So, yeah, it's very interesting to see that. So moving on the cargo report, 2024 was a very good year with 798 million pounds landed here. We already have 100 million pounds landed here with the first 2 months, which is pretty much in line with what we had on the prior years. So again, I mean, this is also very contingent of the tariffs and everything that's going on right now. I mean, just to put an example, on the day that the tariffs went into effect, you were looking at cargo here doing daily operations, about 15 to 20 operations. That sole day that we had the tariffs, we had one operation that day at the airport. So I mean, it's very challenging, but I mean, we do what we can on the cargo side. Moving on the
Gilberto, quick
Yes.
question. Why, do you know why it looks like there's like a decrease that's kind of been happening, like there's a trend, and the decrease like in these beginning months? Is it just,
Well, you have all the inventory that everyone tries to fill. If you see the last month of 2024, you see everyone getting ready for the inventory, 105, 91, 93 million. So in January, what we in Spanish call la cuesta de enero,
Yeah.
right? When everything it's starting to slow down, you're starting to sell your inventory. So that's why basically you see a decrease on January, and it starts to pick up on the latter part, which is on the summer, basically, all the way to December. On the FIS operations, we started the year strong with 794 total passengers with good activity on the private and air charter taxi compared to last year. You see we have 415 on the first month compared against 320 and 379 on February compared to 275. So overall, it's looking good on the private side. We'll just continue to monitor that. Moving on to the FIS operations, same thing, doing much better on the cargo, on the total cargo, with 620 operations compared to last year that was around 500. So that's a good number to begin with. And the ANAM operations, well, they had 12 operations altogether on February, which is close to the busiest month that they had so far on this report, which is on April of 2024. So hopefully we can continue and pick up those operations, because it's a good program that we need to continue to market it. And
Taking into consideration the marketing ideas that were given by David right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything we can kind of push to that? Because, like you said, it's very limited, and the reason why we were at 12 is everybody was trying to beat the tariffs.
Yes.
Nothing more.
Yes.
And so we just want to see if we could promote, because, I mean, we're at risk of having it taken away from us.
Yeah.
And I know Kansas City and I know Nogales is trying to get one established. And so with them two being there, we don't want to lose it. Since we're the only one in the nation, we should be selling it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we expect a good March month too also. We'll see the numbers, because April, let's say April 2nd, or when is it, the new tariffs go into effect? It's around the corner, so we shall see how that goes.
What is I know you explained it in the last meeting.
ANAM is a Mexican-U.S. customs clearance here on the U.S. side.
Yeah.
So they could do clearance going in but it's only limited to 5 commodities, and it's only, how many airports? 8 airports. So we're the only one in the nation that has it, so, and a lot of it has to do with, especially automotive industry. That's why it was a big pickup. They didn't want to have to pay those duties coming into the United States or going out. And so you have automotive, you have electronical, you have, and I think they have there's a separate computer program systems.
Auto
And-
parts
And the auto parts is separate from automotive.
Aerospace.
And then aerospace. So you have those 5 industries.
So can we target, will we need a motion to
Well, on
create
that
a
too,
targeted?
you have to be approved by Mexican Customs
Yeah.
to use that as well. So it's very limited, very exclusive. So we have to be able to get that limitation. I know Amazon's really pushing hard, because it would really be beneficial if we had like the Amazon program in as well. But the only thing about it, Mexico's really controlling with their income that they get, so they don't want to go beyond the $50. So that's why it's really a tough market to break into, but it's an opportunity that we have.
And it's required congressional action from Mexico.
To advertise?
Well, not to advertise,
to add to the group.
to add to the program, or
So it's
delete
very, very
ads.
exclusive. You have to have a contact to get involved. But it's still good promotion to sit there and have somebody allow us to sell and say, hey, if you qualify, just find the contact information. So
Yeah. Okay, the FIS has been keeping busy too. To have more operations going on both months. It's starting to look more like on 23 that it was a good year on the beginning, then it slowed down at the end, but on the first 2 months of this year, we're looking at same as previous years, so looking around on the average of doing 8,500 to 9,000 operations per year for this fiscal year. On the fuel flow, obviously, well, with more movement that we have, the more gallons and the more revenue we get. So obviously, last year was a very good year, so we had a $1 million revenue to the airport. Right now, we're at 133,000, which is pretty much a little bit higher than last year. So we expect to collect around $1 million in revenue fees also. And the gallons are a little bit higher this year, but price for the fuel is not as high as it used to be on 2024. So that's why the more gallons, but not excessively high revenue. Moving on the Lincoln report, Manuel, I don't know if you have any comments on that.
So we currently have Aerovitro. Actually, we spoke to them yesterday. They've been trying to process this payment of $90. It's FIS user fees. So we're behind them to collect. American Air Freight, it's an FTZ operator, which also was contacted yesterday.
And I've been calling several times a day, and it's always busy. I don't know if they have another phone or what, but I emailed them and everything.
So we're trying to get that payment. Right?
And that was terminated, so it's done, and they owe that.
Okay. And then we have Ameriflight and Amerijet International. Same thing, FIS fees. They were contacted, sent a letter that they need to pay these fees, and we have a total of $1,455.
Thank you. Foreign trade zone report, can you give us a quick update on that?
Yes, thank you. It's everything's in that report. We've been growing very sustained growth from December 2023 to today. We are finishing this week the annual FTC report to the National FTC Board, so they will present it in August to the Congress, and it should be done by Friday. I already had everything set, all green across and then there was one issue with one operator that I had to reopen, but that should be done by tomorrow. Sorry. We've increased our approved sites from 47 to 57. We have 4 currently under review on the NFTC board, and I have over 4 that I'm looking into starting and getting marching with it, so we can have them in probably 3 or 4 more months. Employment at the FTCs grew 50% in 1 year, and there have been 5 expansions, 1 decrease, 5 terminations, 1 substitution, 1 that we're working on. That means that current FTC operator is going to move to another site, so they need to have a new site activated before they can terminate this one, so they can move their. We don't have right now any decreases, terminations, or substitutions. We managed to reactivate 1 FTC operator that was terminated by mistake, so we got him back, working with the National FTC Board, and today in the afternoon I'm going to work with another that was also terminated because of an omission in the last 3 years of reports. They had stuff storage that was FTC, but in the question that do you have any activity, they considered new activity. So they just put 000, and that automatically terminates them. But they did have merchandise there. So I'm going to try to fix that, and that way we can pull back one that was already terminated. I think that's it. We have one approved site since 2022, but it has not been activated by CBP.
Okay, thank you. Now if we move to the construction of the terminal rehab project and combined with taxiway J1 and J2, Andrew, do you have any updates on that?
For the terminal rehab project, so if you guys saw it when you guys came in, because I almost cried when I saw we have 2 working escalators, so that's all done now. As far as the roof, that's pretty much all done, which you've all seen. It's like makes the terminal look a lot better. They're just finishing up with some gutter work right now and then getting like all the dust and stuff cleaned off it, so it looks good. And then they're still plugging away on getting the generator replacement done. As far as for status of construction for taxiways J1, J2, so we actually just started last week on the next phase of it. So the runway that's closest to us is actually going to be shut down probably through all of August, because now they've swapped into finishing the taxiways that connects from the runway to the taxiway side. So we have that one all shut down, but then we still have the other runway for all regular operations. But it's going as on schedule as it should.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Rico, number one, going back to yours
Yeah.
on the FTZ. Can they include manufacturing in there? Because I know manufacturing has been a challenge.
I've been working at it. I talked with the people at the National FTC board, and they're open to it. But the thing is that we don't have local operators interested. And I'm just, each and every of the new operators say, just consider manufacturing, because no one is doing it here. And Houston has, and Corpus has, and that's why they've been growing. And the thing is that it isn't a great opportunity. I'm working with Talise to see if we can designate a magnet site over there. It's actually not needed because all of Webb County is an ASF, an alternate site. But it would help in their marketing. And the idea is to maybe have that area for production. But right now, that's the only thing that's limiting us. There's no interest in, it's a lot easier to just warehouse and move things.
Because I know there's been a lot of discussion, so we need somebody to work on some of the warehouse users, the FTZ operators. I could sit there and have them put something in forward if you need that.
Yeah.
Okay, number two is on the collections. I know $90, it's a challenge, but the same thing, is there any kind of legal fees that you guys included if they don't pay, or you guys just sit there strictly $90? Is that why you're just doing it phone calls and emails and stuff?
We usually charge late fees on accounts that are over 90 days, right? So this is the mark that.
Well, actually 30 days. But
Yeah, 30 days, yeah. So in this case, it's a Mexican customer. We've tried to collect, we contacted them and they're like, hey, I can actually pay over the phone. But as per cash policy with the city of Laredo, we cannot accept payments over the phone. So I spoke to them and they're gonna wire transfer us $90.
$90.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a finance department.
Yeah.
It's a little update for the city of Laredo. Some QR code and that you can pay on your phone, that will be nice, right? I mean, you will think.
Little cash app action.
You will think, but that's, I have no dog in that fight.
Action items?
Action items, okay, well.
Well, hold on, anybody have any comments or any, I know, Cash, you want a report done for that, for any kind of follow-up that we did for that marketing?
Yeah, I mean, I would just like to see the advertising spend include digital targeting, and I know that's a little bit of it's a little homework, right? But I think most of us that are on social get those ads, whatever it is we're looking for. We're looking for flights, and you're targeting a certain, you can target a certain demographic, you can target professionals, you can target moms, you can target families.
We did
right?
it. We did it last year when we had the Los Angeles flight.
But
we
even
did a
just
campaign.
in general, right, targeting folks to partner with CVB. CVB's been spending some money on video material that we can use as a collective, right, and use that material to attract people to want to visit Laredo, even if it's, I know a lot of us, because we're Laredoans, we don't feel like there's something to offer, but there is. I mean, we have our culture, we have our, like, food, we have our, you know,
The birds.
Hey, this is a habitat for the great kiskadee, man. He hangs out outside, whistles along, and some people travel all the way from Alaska to see that thing.
It's no joke.
It's true.
I mean,
Yeah, it's true.
Man, I don't like the woody woodpecker that lives outside my house and wakes me up every day,
But somebody will travel from Alaska to see it. But my point is that I feel like if we could do that, then, and I'm happy to help you guys if you need help with any of that, I'm happy to help, but it's just so that we can create traffic, because if you're concerned about the immigrant flights, then that's gonna be a big kick in the butt to, the amount of travel. Because I know all last year I traveled multiple times, to different places, and those flights were full.
Yes.
And with folks that were being transported, right? And so if that's gonna go away, because of the current administration, then passenger travel, one, is gonna get cheaper, but two, it's also gonna get emptier. And frequency, I know in the last meeting, we were talking about trying to get, more flights. Like, for example, we had a physician come in that had to leave at 2:30 because there was no other offerings, later in the day. That kind of thing, or they had to leave earlier in the morning because there's not enough offerings, and so that's, you know,
Yep, absolutely.
so if we can create some digital campaigns to go out.
We'll work on campaigns, and estimates on boosting.
I have a question, actually. So with general aviation, a lot of the other airports have at least a plug-in for the FBOs, for, you know, in case we're flying into a certain airport. I go to like Fly Laredo. Doesn't have any information of any FBOs. It doesn't have any information about.
There's a section that, if you go through the tabs.
I'm in the
Little-
tabs.
Let me see.
Yeah, I'm in the tabs.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
We need to pull it up.
Thinking business.
I see flights, travel info, airports, business.
Under business.
Because we have the reports, the stats. And commercial development.
So, what's an FBO?
So an FBO is like a
Fixed base.
fixed base operator.
Basically,
So
a
like,
private
like
terminal.
right now we have
Private.
Signature. Yeah, we have Signature, for example, Barker. And I know it's not necessarily something that we make a lot of money for, maybe from rentals. I'm sure the city gets some. But there's no information here. So if I fly here, GA, there's no information. And there should be, Laredo is actually a huge GA hub.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many pilots that we utilize Cape, this
Yeah,
airport
just-
all
just
the
to
time.
pass customs.
Exactly, just to pass customs. Why don't we have like a plug-in for customs information,
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that?
thought it was here, maybe it got lost somewhere in there, but, well, yeah, we'll put it there because we do have,
And like advertising for that, because even if it's just, even if we have to like help make up some of the money with landing fees, I mean, that's why they're there for.
yeah.
I mean.
No, we had it there, but we'll make sure that we include it there because we have Signature and we have Barker, and next year we'll have Gravity Jets too, so.
Yeah.
So that, yeah.
And then lease opportunities, I know that there's leasing opportunities that I think the city, I think we discussed this in DC, but one of the things is like, is there a specific tab? I know that there's some business development opportunities, but maybe we need something to where there's plats, there's.
We're working on a software there, well, it's not a software, it's we hire a company called Port Laredo, which is Bridge Economic Development, Airport, and CBB, where you'll be able to see the map of Laredo and click on
what's available.
everything that's
On what's
available in
yeah.
the whole city. So once it's ready, we'll just
Plug it in.
there in the, it should be ready in
Yeah,
in the
and
next
maybe
month or
even if it's
so.
a contact, like maybe a big carrier's looking to rent space or build.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe just like, hey, if you're, cargo looking for
Yes.
space to build a warehouse here.
Yes.
I mean, that way there's an easy access to that. That way we're not looking and trying to call and
Yeah.
whatever, so.
Yeah, no,
Just
that
my
should
2
be ready
cents.
in the next couple of months.
My
So,
2 cents.
Yeah, thank you.
Just talking
So-
about this, I've been asked to prepare some materials on the FTCs, and one of the things I want to put there is precisely the thing of the production availability. It is something that can be done, so it will be there whenever that is done.
Yeah, so like, and then this can't be happening either, so the rendering on the site, too, like under Laredo Trends,
It's not a web view. It's like, right?
well, they should be able to make it,
Yeah.
or resize
Like
it to.
currently, it's not showing as a
Yeah.
web view. Okay.
Well, it's in mobile, so it does render for a mobile device, but the actual graphic or whatever it is, platform that they're using, should render it to a mobile device, right? So,
That's the one updated, what year is that, the trend?
this is from,
We'll look into
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, under
Get carried
Laredo,
away.
Laredo Trends, but yeah,
Yeah.
just going back to, you know, to Josh's point, that there's services and things like that
Yeah.
these folks may be looking for, and that's where
Yeah,
it
and
starts
well,
here.
we need to put all the cargo information there, all the carriers that are here and everything. I thought it was there, I guess, something got lost somewhere at some point in time, but we'll look into that.
It's just good. I think
Yeah.
it's just a good way to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, action items, yes.
Okay, so discussion and possible action on beginning the process of reviewing the minimum standards and requirements for the conduct of commercial aeronautical services and activity at the Laredo International Airport and any other matters incident thereto. So this the first packet that you're gonna see is the minimum standards that we're proposing for the airport. Before you guys leave, we'll print out the old ones, or I can send them to you through email. I couldn't send this one through email because it's a very large document. Basically, these are the standards for like our FBOs or anybody that has a lease or is even like flight pilots or anybody using the airport for aeronautical services. These are the minimum standards that we are proposing. We have not updated ours since like 1994. And so we've had some amendments, but it's mainly for, it was to increase the rate for the fuel flow. We're not proposing any increases right now, at least not that I know of. But the reason why I'm bringing it is because since it has been so long, like I think almost my whole life, that we haven't reviewed these, it's time. And so I wanted to ask, or I don't know how you guys want to handle it. It is a large document. So I would recommend we like take a month to review them and then we can come back and discuss. I don't know, I can open it up for however you guys want.
Is there gonna be like a, like, something like this stating just it in layman's language, like the differences? That way because I mean, I don't know how many is gonna go through everything and understand the differences, but that way we can sort of go through like the key points of what the differences are.
There is a lot of differences.
Yeah.
Because like our other document is about 30 pages and this one's a lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
So the main changes are gonna be like the size of requirement probably for hangars. We're including a lot of new stuff too. So like the amount of gas that is gonna be allowed. I think before we were allowed to have underground tanks and now they have to be overground. It's gonna put requirements on like the size of facility at minimum. It's basically the minimum of anything. If you wanna build an FBO, it has to be this amount of square feet. You have to have this amount of tanks and it has to be at minimum these gallons. And it basically explains it like that. So what I can do is this, I can take some, like maybe about a week with Sandra, we can review the two documents and we can do like an executive summary. But I would prefer if you guys take the time to review it.
Yeah, for
If you
sure.
guys wanna break it down by sections between you all, that's an idea. But I think it is important you all read the full thing and not just rely on me. And Sandra.
And then also just for the clip notes.
Yes, and I'll make it the clip. So what do you guys want? I put it as an action item, as instead of a report in case you guys did want to take action on it.
It sounds good, we just need to adjust it, like I said, we'll give us a month, we'll give a report back, see how far we've gone along. If not, at the same time, hopefully we can provide, the summary so we can kind of move forward with that. And sit there, maybe just the proposed changes, so we can kind of outline and see what our suggestions are.
What's your timeline on it?
A year? Well,
Okay.
we already kind of did our first review. So just a little bit of background, the city manager's office is requiring airports to develop standard operating procedures and policies for each department. Our department has some, we'll get into the other one right now. We already have these, so we had prepared them. We sat with Chief Landin a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
We kind of went over ideas. That was the first draft. We'll be submitting our second one next January. So we do have some time, but it is a lot of content, and it's not like this is my only project. So I would rather start now, because by ordinance, you guys are responsible for advising us on these types of regulations. Like that is letter G on the ordinance.
So
So
we could work on a 6-month time frame and then, back into it and move forward, so. We'll go
Okay.
from there. So 6 times will give us sufficient time to go ahead and work with later on, so we can go ahead and have it before the year time.
so what is the plan? I hope,
We'll review as much as we can, come back next month and give a report, and then also you can provide the key highlights that we gotta look at. So.
Yeah.
If you need help with anything, I could help.
and
Thanks,
then
Josh.
we'll regroup. So do you want to take a motion, or do you just want a motion to bring it back for the next meeting?
Table.
Mo-
Or
Motion to bring it back next meeting.
Okay. Who created
No,
it?
who's first?
Josh.
Yeah, motion to bring it up next month.
And
Now we
then-
need a second.
Here you go, sir.
All in favor?
Aye.
Move forward, so.
So the second one is discussion and possible action on beginning the process of developing and adopting rules and regulations for the Laredo International Airport and any other matters incident with Air 2. So this one's a little bit different because, the rules and regs, we don't have any. Our airport, we have our, I don't wanna say we don't have any, we do obviously have policies, we follow standard laws, chief is here. The thing is that, airports, perfect example, if, currently the city ordinance, or before, we had a situation where somebody was vaping, the city ordinance reads no smoking. So if chief were to tell someone something, at that time, they weren't really allowed to enforce it because the city ordinance, was not specific to include the electronic cigarette. Now, like when the airport's able to develop that, we can go a little bit above, especially because of federal regulations and stuff, like we can have our own rules and regulations. And so what we base these off of San Antonio's. Some of them might not apply to us. Like for instance, they have sections where they can lease spaces for like food trucks and stuff. We don't have that. We are trying to change, there's a section there that I highlighted, I think it's called permitting. That one would be more specific for like the park and ride. But there's some changes that we can make. This one, it doesn't just apply for airport employees, it applies for the user as well. So I don't want people here that are drunk. If somebody's drunk here, we can tell them to go away. There's other things that are expected, such as, like no feeding of animals. That's not a law, but like that's a rule that we enforce here. And I do have like wildlife, regulations in my minimum standards, but that's for aeronautical users. But if I have like a little kid here and they see a cat and they wanna give them food, like they're technically allowed to, even though that's dangerous for our airfield. So the intention of these is to just prevent any risks from occurring or like any accidents. We're just trying to protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And what I'm proposing, or what we're trying to propose here is that we do a similar process. So maybe you guys can cut it in half, like kind of review them at first, both, but it is a lot of information I'm asking for. And I know it's a lot that I'm asking for you guys. So I guess I would say take a month also to review to see like how much it is. If you want, we can talk about it before coming back, like not as a group, but with the chair, to see what ideas you have moving forward in adopting these two different documents, which will be in one binder, but they will be, they both need to be, we need your advice on both.
Let me just comment on that, like, I know this is all written policy, but then as you mentioned, let's say no feeding of the animals outside. Are you start putting signage all over the place in the airport, or how would you handle that?
No, well, yes, we can. Well, these are gonna be posted on the code of ordinances for the city of Laredo,
Yeah,
so
but I
that will
mean,
be
that's still,
published.
like, you have a kid, they're not gonna be.
No, we can just have our law enforcement actually tell them something though, as opposed to now, it's like, hey, you know, I can't, let's say it's not a kid, let's say it's an adult that wants to feed a dog because they love dogs. And so, if chief goes and tells them something like, hey, you can't be doing this, if you do, I'm gonna have to remove you. If he were to do that today, the citizen can complain and say, well, why are you removing me? There's nowhere here that's written, it's nowhere. At least once it's adopted, it'll be there. This book, these regulations should also be on our website, but the whole point is that chief will be able to enforce things that are not necessarily law, but there are policies for the airport.
Motion for another month on this one?
Motion.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Right.
The next, third one
Oh,
is,
third one.
Mr. Gordillo's report, on passenger activity.
Request from Carlos Gordillo, updates on air service development and passenger activity at the Laredo International Airport.
Okay, so I'll go back on these 100 slides that I have here. This is a very interesting question, and there's no easy answer to that, but I will go through the motions. I try to meet regularly with the airlines, usually meet around 3-4 times, maybe if we're lucky, per year, to sell basically Laredo and try to get new routes to Laredo. So this is some of the information that we share with them. But like me, there's 200 other airports behind me waiting for that meeting to happen. We have 20 minutes just to talk to them on those meetings. So, but as you can see, our market has grew from compared to 2023 at 30% if we end up the year on September 24. American Airlines passengers were had the most increase to 35%. And if you see, that's what I was telling you earlier, that compared to other airports, the growth that Laredo has had is it's way more than everyone else, at least from the Texas. 4% compared to 22% on the last 3 months, and 30% compared to 7% for all other airports. And this is basically because of the capacity that we have increased on the airport due to United and American. Also, the flight to Los Angeles for Allegiant will show you the effect that it had on the pricing of that flight. So as you see, the domestic seats have increased tremendously. Also, they increased by 40% by the year end of September 2024, with American Airlines increasing the most. With we have the larger aircraft now, and we have more frequencies, so that's more seats. But in turn, that lowered their load factor a little bit, but they're still good. They still have good numbers. United also increased. I mean, they have not upgauged the aircraft. They're still using the CRJ with 50 passengers, but they're in the plans to upgauge eventually all those aircrafts. But there's no time frame here for Laredo. The load factor, as you can see, we're also higher than the national average, and oh no, I'm sorry, the load factor decreased, but this is mainly because of the increase in capacity. There's still good numbers, but I mean there's still a little bit more available seats in this year. So the network for this coming year, or this coming summer, we got Las Vegas, 2 flights, Dallas, same 35 with the same frequency, Houston 28, that's gonna increase compared to 26, and I lose 5 weekly frequencies. Obviously, this is yet to be revised by the airlines compared to how how the numbers are going during the year. So I honestly don't foresee that American might cut maybe the 4 o'clock flight. And just leave the one at night that comes that arrives here until 12 or something like that. And United, well, United's still doing good, but they fluctuate. I mean, they're probably gonna give us the third flight on the summer and then go back to 2 per day. So, but that's just United regular operations. So obviously the market here is controlled by American with 60% of the market and 27% of United Airlines and 12% Allegiant. I'll show a little bit of the leakage that we have, but basically this is passengers daily each way. So you're here, basically it's an average of 228 people daily flying to American, 101 passengers daily flying to United, and 46 daily. I mean, Allegiant only serves 2 days, but the metric is for 265. So that's the number right now. This is how we get hammered with the prices here in Laredo. As you can see, the comparison the only one that's cheaper compared to San Antonio and Austin, which is the big leakage that we have here. The only one cheaper is Las Vegas with Allegiant, with 129. Everything else aside from DFW and Houston obviously is connecting. But if you're connecting from Laredo to Los Angeles, for instance, Laredo $237, Austin $200, San Antonio $196, and so forth. You get whatever. These are our top leakage cities. So whichever you like, you see the orange still on the far right, which is it's good for the airlines. It's not good for us. I mean, so even though the airlines might lower their load factor, they're still making a lot of money from Laredo. So the capacity and the seats, so we had increased 66% the passengers for American and 24% the seats. Same with United, 57% and 52% on the seats. Allegiant also has an increase with the seats also only at 37% because obviously it's seasonal for that. And the load factor, this is what I was telling you, this is the number that they lack, even though 74, it dropped from 82 to 74 for American due to the capacity. 74 is still a very good number for the airlines. 76 for United, and Allegiant is at 77. Los Angeles was doing really well relatively at 74%. The load factor. What happened there with Allegiant is just basically they're getting out of Los Angeles. It's too expensive to fly to LAX, so they just decided to shut down the station of LAX. They're gonna last for the whole day, for the whole year, sorry, but unfortunately they decided to cut early 9 airports, and we got the short end of the stick, and we got caught for that one, even though they did really good. But hopefully with those numbers, we can get something else for next year. I've been tough with them, and they're very receptive to doing something for next summer. Aerus, we started in January with 13 departures. We had 16 passengers from Monterrey to Laredo and 26 from Laredo to Monterrey, with a total of 42. Remember, those flights are Monday to Friday, and so the average load factor was 80%. Still low, but on the second month of February, which was a complete month of returning departures, 73 coming into Laredo and 67 leaving Laredo to Monterrey, load factor at 39%. Usually what in the industry for the airlines is about 2 years to see their route to be self-sustainable or to have good load factors. Obviously, this one being a smaller aircraft with 9 passengers, we're looking at probably a year or so when we see these numbers. I mean, you all saw the campaign that we're running on the billboards. So hopefully, people who get are more aware of what's out there. A lot of people don't know there's a flight available to Monterrey. So we're starting to hit that with those billboards, and we're gonna go looking into the digital and all that. So hopefully those numbers will continue to grow. Obviously, it's promising with an 18% go to a 39%. So hopefully those numbers keep growing.
What's the target for them to either increase the aircraft or purchase a larger aircraft or make more flights? What's the target for them? Like, what number are they looking for?
Well, for them around, because that 39% represents around 3-4 passengers average. So for them, I would say an average of 6 passengers will break even on that aircraft.
55%.
Yes. Anything 7 and above, they'll be making money.
How many flights are they running per day currently?
One daily.
One daily, to and from?
To and from, yes. From Monday through Friday. So I think yesterday, it was yesterday, they had a full flight from here. That was the first time I heard that we had a full flight.
What time does the flight run out?
Right now, it arrives at 1 and it leaves at 1:50 from here.
It's just a Cessna, right, a Caravan?
Yes.
Do they have a bigger fleet, or is that all they have?
That's currently all they have. They do have a 12 passengers. It's a Caravan too. Just
Yeah,
a
it's a bigger Cessna.
Okay. But those are the only aircraft they're running right now. But obviously, like I said, in the airline industry, it's all about relationships. That's why I keep meeting with Southwest, Delta, you name it. And I mean, I'm pretty sure they're not coming in the next few months or maybe in the next year. But I mean, you gotta keep knocking on their doors and make sure they know Laredo exists. And obviously, there's the money factor, right? When you come in with a revenue guarantee, that always helps. Unfortunately, the city doesn't have any program like that. It's basically on the go. When we have something, we go to city manager, we go to city council, and we create something, we find some money, and we give them some money. That's what happened with Aeromar.
What is the biggest pushback from those airlines? When you're in those meetings, like
Well, everyone will. It always feels like you're 1 year away of growth. They're always catching up to whatever they lost with COVID. So first it was the pilots. No offense. First it was the pilots. Then it was the aircrafts. Like right now, Boeing is not giving any aircraft. So right now it's Boeing. But on the market for, I now just used Southwest as an example. Southwest, they have a unionized people for ground handling. So it's not worth for them to have a crew of probably 6-7 people here for one daily flight on a what do they use?
A320?
A 320, so for 160, 180 passengers. So they need to fly multiple times. If you see the business model from Southwest, there's very few and selected market where they will fly once per day, but they usually want to fly 2-3 times per day. So if you multiply our passengers times 180 daily, they basically will be they will need to fly all of our passengers and no. Take out of business American and United, so.
What about other airlines like budget airlines, like the Spirits of the World,
Yeah, this
Frontier?
last time I met with Frontier, they also getting into the market of flying daily. I mean, this is some type of interest from them. I mean, so hopefully we can continue those conversations in a couple of months, and there's another airlines meeting. The target for Denver will be Denver, and something else. They want to fly for 2 cities. So, but obviously the pushback is okay. What if I don't make it? I mean, what do you have to offer me? So you better come up with a minimum and revenue guarantee that you're saying, well, I'm gonna buy X amount of tickets if you're not full, or if you don't reach this number. So that's what helps. Like I said, I mean, you can go, and I have 1 million set aside for air service development. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's talk, right? Instead of you just telling, hey, Laredo is a great market, you'll do great. We'll support you with marketing efforts. We won't charge you landing fees, because that I can do, but I cannot promise any money, because it's not the FAA doesn't allow to use airport money for a specific airline. So that money needs to come from somewhere else. In this case, the general fund or the Conventions and Visitors Bureau, or whoever has the money and is willing to pitch in, right?
Judge, the last time we had Aeromat, I think it was 750,000 taxpayer money that we had invested. We tried to go to the stakeholders, they wouldn't do it, so we had to subsidize that, and they ended up going under, so it's a risk.
So how about like Envoy? Like, obviously we had a destination for the summer, like Laredo to LA, and I utilized it twice. It was great.
Yes.
But considering that we have Envoy, right, with American Airlines, I know American Airlines and Envoy flies to Cancun. Have you tried to like get American Airlines or Envoy to do a summer event to Cancun?
I tried that. I try direct flights from here to Miami, obviously, because they do fly Monterrey, Miami, and I say, hey, but you're using the same aircraft and I'm closer, then you can just get a larger aircraft, pick somebody in Monterrey, come to Laredo, make them a local trip now, because you can clear customs here instead of clearing customs in Miami, which is packed. But they're just hesitant to connect somewhere that is not their base in Dallas, which is the same for Austin. They say, well, we don't like to fly somewhere else over our headquarters. I say, man, you're already doing it. So that's it.
Because they're doing Austin to Cancun and San Antonio to Cancun, and it's American Airlines.
Yeah, they're just we don't want to take chances with us. But yeah, we try. And, like I said, it's a very tough market to be in, but it's very interesting and fun to go and try to convince.
And the city, what does the city? So when we subsidize someone that comes in through either tax, or does any of that economic development, any of that can be used in any of those programs that economic development has?
We don't have any specific program set aside for that. I mean, obviously the idea is to get the attention. Like, for instance, I know if I can get Delta's attention and I go to city management and city council, I'm sure they'll find some money for that. But it is different when you have a set aside pot of money, like hotel motel, or a 1% hotel motel, or the economic tax that has been used for the arena. Some of that, if
the type A, type B.
Exactly. If you have that money set aside, that's a whole different ballgame, right? Because right now I'm just shooting numbers out there that might be or might not be available at the end of the year, right? Because, I mean, we all know, we all depend on the bridge, so what happens if the bridge is closes? Well, we might not be able to find that $1 million that I can use here on this end, right? Or we might need that $1 million to pay police and fire or somebody else.
But in the city, would that be a motion that you have to make, or does one of our city council people have to make that
No,
motion?
it will take actual voters approval because it was voted on the tax that you have. But, I mean,
Well, what I'm saying is, if you wanted to create a general, percentage off the general fund, so for example, off the general fund, you take 1% and allocate it towards airport development or economic development for airlines.
Yeah, well, that'll be great, but I'm gonna tell you that that's gonna fly with the finance and the budget director, I'm pretty sure, but.
But if city council,
I mean,
but
if you all tell your council member to explore that option and find us some money somewhere else, I mean, I'll be glad to entertain that option, obviously, because, like I said, that's, I mean, we can talk about all the wonders that Laredo brings, but at the end of the day, it's just, it's a business decision, it's a financial decision for the airline. So if they don't have any guarantees that they're gonna make money here, or at least break even, they're gonna look somewhere else where they have them. And some other cities do have them. So, yeah.
So,
The leakage, real quick, or need to tell you everything goes Austin and San Antonio. This is the main cities where the leakage goes to. Los Angeles, New York City, Orlando, Denver, Washington. Nashville is somewhere there. That's another option that I've been telling Allegiant that they might be able to explore. And like I said, I mean, the leakage has been decreasing. As you can see here on the graph, it's just basically from the capacity that we've been adding here in Laredo, but I mean, that just indicates that people want to fly from Laredo, but we just need to have more service and more reasonable fares. Austin and San Antonio, again, for the international leakage. So the big one obviously is Cancun, London, so maybe we can get one Laredo, London. Mexico City, and it's higher actually, it's higher in London than Mexico City, surprisingly that. Cabo, Frankfurt, Amsterdam, Guadalajara, but I mean, obviously the sales is the beaches in Mexico to the airlines. I've met with some country. Allegiant has a very interesting, they're trying to not merge but work together with Viva. So, but I think that's on the DOT that they haven't approved that partnership. And that will be very interesting to see what they can do, because obviously Viva has all the connections in Mexico City. So, so we'll be looking into that one also. I also met with Volaris. So Volaris was interested in the option of either Mexico City or Querétaro. I spoke to the government officials in Querétaro. They're also interested in the flight, but the kicker here will be to try to find some air cargo for all the custom brokers here. If you all can find some air cargo that goes to Laredo to Querétaro, that will help tremendously on our business case for Volaris. Volaris, Viva también, we met with Viva. Frontier, there's a small airline like the Caravans, it's Southern Airways. I don't know if you're familiar with that one. That one, they're looking into flights to Austin, but it's a small aircraft too. It's 9 passengers the same. So might be a possibility there, but obviously they want a minimum revenue guarantee. So that's all I have. I don't know if you have any questions on that end? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Number 4?
Number 4, request from Joel Benavides, update on airport budget and financial activity.
Okay, on that, basically, we're making money, guys. I mean, we're not in the red. We do have a $3 million income for this period. Our fund balance is we have about $28 million on the bank, but obviously, around $14 million of those are gonna go with the renovation, once we start renovating the terminal. So, probably won't see a drop in our fund balance and a considerable amount of increase on the expenditures once that project starts. Hopefully, we can start by the end of this year. If PSA can give us everything one day, maybe. So I don't know, any questions on the financial? Yep. Very good.
Okay, any requests for the next meeting? Anyone?
I guess a clear understanding of what's available real estate wise and how we can help you. I mean, not only what's available, but what you're looking to do with it. Like if you want us to reach out to Mr. Killam or one of the other developers, or that way we can start setting up meetings with a plan that you have in mind.
Yes.
And that way we can present it, because I mean the revenues for rent is pretty sizable.
Yeah.
But I mean, with one more of those rentals, I mean it'd be huge.
Yeah, obviously that's our biggest income, which is the leasing that we have and we do out there. So, and we do have several other land for development that we will appreciate all the help that we can get on that.
Because we also have a potential for rental. So in the general aviation market, Laredo has, all of South Texas has no hangar space available, 0.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest revenues that other smaller cities utilize is they will lease the land, and they will they have a policy of how it needs to be built, but essentially it belongs to the city. And you'll have somebody like a Josh go and do a 40-year lease, 100-year lease, and then we get the specs, and under our own monies, we build hangars that you will utilize forever.
Like T-hangers.
Well, T-hangars, bubble sheds, there's a lot of options, but I mean, it's definitely, like in Bernie, we rent $750 a month, and it's, 20 by 30 or something like that?
Yeah.
And there's no hangars. There's none in Cotula, there's none in Zapata, there's none in any of the surrounding areas. So we're all flying and we're leaving our planes and I'm leaving mine in Bernie. And I know that a couple of Laredoans have their planes in Bernie also.
Okay.
There's nothing here.
That's interesting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Any other requests?
No, just a question of what happened with it was one of the motions that we made last meeting about the rental about the price of the rent of a property. Yeah, the one that was very cheap and
25 cents
Yeah.
per square foot.
Exactly, that one.
Yeah, that one we revised the market, what's it called?
Market analysis?
The market analysis, and it came back to that. So I don't know if you've seen the building, but the building is trash, basically. Sorry.
Can I see it?
Well, the market analysis was there, and it was not at 25.
Yeah.
There was nothing at 25. I don't know, somebody didn't read it.
Yeah, I read it, and it was.
It wasn't at
the same.
25. I read them.
Yeah, they give you the amount at the end. I mean, we're not calculating anything. At the end, they tell you this building is a $5,000 rent per month. So that's what we use.
What did we land on the rent for the building?
It was around 5,900, like
28,000 square feet for
No,
5,000.
for 8X, it's 6,900.
6,900.
It's almost 7,000
There were
$7,000
a month.
a month for 28,000 square feet or something like that, right?
No,
How
Is it
much?
28,000?
Yeah, 28,360.
Is it 28,000 square feet the facility, or is it 28,000 square feet the property? I don't have the report on me,
Feet
that's
of
why.
land.
Of land?
It says constituent of 97,183 square feet of land, including approximately 28,366 square feet of building.
Okay, that's what I needed.
So you have 25 cents.
It was at 23 cents, I think, that's what we calculated. That's, you can't find that anywhere in Laredo, anywhere.
Now, if it's in such bad condition, does it even have a CO?
It should.
I mean, maybe it's be worth looking, because, I mean, you can actually change that significantly if the city just invests a little bit. I mean, there's tons of property that's here. I mean, my company managed one of your all's properties here for a long time, and, you know, it was trash, it was nothing.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have several dollars, but as much as I would like to put money into those, we just don't have the funds to spare for that. We have a construction right here. I don't know what's gonna happen, or how much money are we gonna spend, and obviously after that, I will prioritize the passenger jet boarding bridges, because a couple of incidents already on that, and those come at a hefty price tag. I think last time I checked, it was $9 million for the four. So,
And what were those, sorry? I didn't
the
hear.
passenger boarding bridges, the jet bridges.
Uh-huh.
So we need
Wow.
to change those. They haven't been, I mean, they're 20 years old too. So I would like to have new ones.
Can you sell these to some of the cargo people?
I don't think so. I mean, as long as they sign me a waiver of liability, maybe we can do something. But
What about the lease itself, do you know how long is it 1 year lease?
it's a 5-year lease.
It's fine. It's actually already ending. El de ayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a renewal.
And
I'm just gonna say, I don't agree with that. I think that the 25 cents on the dollar for what they're getting, Gilberto, is a ridiculous amount. I don't, and that's just looking at the warehouse, and I did look at the warehouse. It's not that bad shape.
Did you
I
go
mean,
inside?
but for 25 cents, then they better retrofit it, because they've been in there how many years?
And
Since they built it.
do you know how much they were paying?
Yeah, they were paying $1,400 a month.
Yeah. So like that, I have several contracts out there that we're fixing one by one. And that was one of the first steps that we did, raising that from 1,000 for 6,000. And it took quite a while to get there, but surely, but
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah,
work
yeah.
on that.
Okay.
All right.
Need a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second. Motion carries. Thank you, guys.